It's the show that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friends. Welcome back to Corked Stats, the fastest freaking show in MLB. Absolutely. With your boy, Big Johnny Stud. Tears dried off my fucking cheeks after yesterday getting my fucking clock cleaned. Oh my god, that sucked. That sucked, and I deserved it because I was talking smack about the daytime stuff and how bad I am. We hit everything during the day. So I pulled the trigger on the PM slate and everything went wrong. Holy crap. Red Sox and Braves combined for 4 errors in the F5. What? You're not going to get any unders like that. Not going to get any unders like that. Byron Buxton comes out and hits a leadoff homer for the Twins. Hard to feel any better about the start for a fucking F5. That was it. That was it, kid. That was it. Holy crap. You know, the youngster was okay. Funny, some people taking victory laps. With that command and control, you're kind of lucky. You got barreled up. Ay. Just the worst. Got to shake it off. These things happen. Who am I to gird them sugar? Follow me up on Twitter at John Legeza Flow. Sharper than a damn razor. Same handle over on Substack. Check it out. We're burning the candle on both ends. You know, the baseball stuff every single day. Algorithm full game plus F5 scores. You know, bullpen stuff. Year-to-date and last 2 weeks, everything kind of formatted. You see it, we'll scroll through it later. Team stuff, advanced team stuff, time split, lefty-righty also, the world-famous pitching sheets, a Cook bullpen report, individual hitter tabs, sortable pitcher stat, stuff your own, plus all the prop stuff, pitcher ranks, fucking K projections, base props, a little ridiculous, plus all the NFL stuff. So I know it's hard to ask for money in this tough environment, but I'm out there working my arse off. There's some football content out already. Weird, I've got some strong takes. So check it out, find out what that's all about. Anyway, enough of that shit, right? We need more of this. The best part of waking up. Pitching sheets up in the mug. Jay Bird, how you doing, my man? Yeah, short slate. You know, it's kind of, I'm trying to reset. Sometimes I take these days off. Brian E., my guy, Jeff L., what's going on? PM's games. Oh my gosh. Yo, Jeff, what the shit?
Doesn't work for me, brother.
Jesus. Just destroyed. You know what happens. And again, it's not like I'm even wearing the losses so hard. It's the daytime stuff. Like, we got everything during the day. Buddy of mine, you know, funny, we're talking about, oh, what's at the F5 in the full game. He sends me a parlay ticket that we covered during the show, though he had swapped the Cleveland over for Cleveland money line. That was the winner, but he didn't play the Giants F5. He played the Giants full game. That would have been a fucking winner. And, yo, we just took fingers in the coolie yesterday. All right, so we got 6 games, half a dozen. Today's the day you tell your wife, you know, tell the girl, boyfriend, whatever. All this fucking betting and baseball stuff. Let's watch some fucking TV. Forget this nonsense. You know what I mean? Today's a perfect day. It's like 2 at 1, 1 at 3, 3 at 6, something like that. So I'm just ignoring it. Like I said, I may not even bet. We'll see. I also have the power of, you know, foresight here because I saw all the model and shit already. I'm not really into much. Let's dive right in. I'm going to start from the beginning. It is what the fuck it is. I did notice the podcast is not only abridged, but if you listen on Spotify, they automatically do chapters that I don't. So check it out on Spotify, and then, you know, you just fucking skip to the games. All right, let's go. It's Grayson Rodriguez on the bump for the Halos, plus 109 dog down in Detroit, Rock City on the road to face the Tigres and Yara, Captain Jack Flaherty. Minus 131. This feels like a little bit of a misprice on its face. I know if you're looking at the, you know, Grayson Rodriguez stats, yeah, the 10.5 ERA plus 2 WHIP, all the indicator shit is terrible. It's been really bad. However, you know, you're coming back. He's been herky-jerked with workload. And I think analyzing or handicapping Grayson is more about, you know, one, is he healthy? Is the velo there? That's been a yes. And like, what's the underpinning stuff? What's going on? Like, how are the pitchers performing? Also, remember that first one? He went at 3 2/3. He gave up 7, and the second start, 5 2/3 versus Texas, give up 4, which understandably is not good. Is also not reflective of these type of stats. So, listen, getting touched back to back is going to wreck you across a 9 inning sample. It's also going to take a little bit to kind of correct course. So let's pop the hood really quick on Grayson. He's an interesting pitcher. I'm curious to see. Angels are going to get us some plus odds this season, and if we like him as a winner, you're getting to the like a Davis Martin situation with the White Sox. We were on them early, eating up those. Kyle Harrison. Eventually, those guys become favorites. Davis Martin is a big favorite today. So we need to kind of refresh the pool with the pitchers we believe in through 5 innings that maybe might have bad bullpens behind him, which is Rodriguez. Rodriguez, again, the velo is fine, right back to normal, over 96. The extension profile for Grayson is fucking ridiculous. Like, that's always been one of the things that's really helped to elevate him. He's a huge fucking dude. He's fucking 6'6", 235 or something like that. So he's got big extension, right? Big velo, probably throws the four-seamer a little too much. The slider is generally a pretty good pitch. He does tend to hang it sometimes, but he gets big whiffs. That's been the case. The changeup really performing well against lefties. We're going to need that. I think the whiff rate will tick up. Let me just check as far as like diagnostics for changeup. We're looking for the drop. He does have the big vertical drop, and we're looking for the big difference in velocity, right? So 13 miles an hour, difference between four-seam and changeup, pulling the string. When you hear the back pocket stuff I always talk about, kind of checking the boxes. I mean, everything looks pretty solid for Grayson. And the Flaherty stuff, I don't know if we could say the same. He's up to 47 innings with a nearly 6 ERA, 166 whip. All the indicators are in the shitter, 4.5 or worse. Expected ERA north of 5. 39 ball, 13 walk, single-digit swing and strike, 59.5 first strike, sub-28 chase. This is just an atrocious set combination of disciplinary metrics. Right? Think about that. You're behind, you're wild, right? So you're not getting hitters to buy on... Sorry, I got a quick reload. You're not getting hitters to buy on that first pitch, even if it's not in the zone. Then you're not commanding the zone beyond that. Not getting swings and misses, then not keeping it down. 50 fly ball, 43 pull, 47 hard hit, nearly 10 barrel. I know as I say it, Grayson's are right there, but the sample is much different. 5 times the amount of innings for Flaherty. He's had no answer to lefties. He's also had no answer to righties. Terrible at home, terrible on the road, terrible last 30. So I guess if I'm giving Grayson the edge and the bump, bring it over to the offense, last 14 days, v righties, it's a race to the absolute bottom here. One team worse than the other. Angels at least getting line drives and barrels. This is fucking horrendous. Angels showing a little bit more life last 7, though. The K's have always been an issue. They're overly aggressive. But, pulling elevated batted balls is going to get you to the promised land. You wish they'd steal a few more bases. Not feeling really confident, but we are getting plus money. I think I got Grayson and the Angels. F5. I'm seeing a plus 105 hanging right now. I think that's my move. Not really buying the Flaherty thing. And even though the Tigers did lose Kenley Jansen yesterday, I'm probably a little bit worried about the bullpen in general. It's not been good. And to lose the major capital C closer is never going to help. You see, I got a couple of 2-run ribby guys because the wind is blowing out today. Though, in all fairness, and this should be self-explanatory, the wind out means offensive boost. The offensive boost got us over the 2.4 F5, right? And over the 4.4 full game. The reason you know that is because the finals are so close to that. So, right, that would obviously be the difference. So you have to kind of buy the wind if you're buying the offense. But I've got the leadoff guys for hit runs and ribbies. It was hard to deny them. Modeling to 4.5 runs, in a pretty decent spot with weak bullpen. So I've got McGonigal and Neto. But beyond that, I don't have much offense. No one does. Not a single game. This is the only game with 9. No one else has one. So I guess give me the Angels to scratch one across early. Pop into the comments. What's going on, everybody? Yo, like I said, Jeff, good morning. You didn't know you're my guy. If I ever forget you, Jeff, you're the first one on my mind in the morning, brother. We got Trent. Call up, appreciate your morning to you, too. Paolo, what's going on? Good morning to you as well. Trent, just hit the like button, everybody. Yeah, smash that shit. You know what I mean? I hate to beg for it, but really good news for me. You know, and I thank all of you. We're right on the cusp of monetizing this bitch. Like, we're right there. And from what I understand, it's a little unusual for, I don't have a lot of followers. I don't have a lot of videos. I haven't been doing this long. The channel's technically old because I never use it. Like, someone just advised me I set it up, so it's there. Now I'm glad I did. But we're right near monetization, and I guess I'm gonna like open tips and stuff, man. You know, I would love to get this thing big enough where I'm the type, I would want to grow this to lower the price. You know, like that's always been the goal. Weird, whatever. Everyone is so fucking greedy, man. You can't take it with you, yo. You'll be more glad, I think, on the deathbed having helped people than an extra fucking, whatever, changing a 4 for a 9 in your bank account. To me, that shit is kind of stupid. We got T1 Collymore, best picks in the MF world, my guy. Yo, I appreciate that. I really do. And, all right, I think that'll do it. And You Damn Thief. And Jambadan. Whoa, Batman and Jambadan. All right, so good morning, Four Eyes. What the fuck? What the hell, man? All right, let's get fucking serious. Next up, Kendry Rojas on the bump for the Twins. I had Taj Mahal Bradley. He got pushed till tomorrow. I saw that confirmed. So Rojas on the bump for the Twins. They're on the road against my guy Davis Martin, who now is a minus 140 favorite. And you're like, shit, man. And funny, the White Sox are favorites. You know what I mean? It happens that quick. They're in second place in the Central, 3.5 out behind the Guards. But, you know, the 28 wins, they'd be first in the AL West, which pretty fucking crazy. Tigers 10 games out, last place. No school shit, man. Funny how the preseason, right, when we think about these teams and the range of outcomes, how they're pretty much going to challenge us every time. Let's take a look at Rojas. I'll admit I don't really know a lot about him. I think when we get into these young guys, it's really just more about workload. So 23-year-old lefty, import from Cuba. I mean, he's been really good on the scoreboard. The underpinning stuff is not singing the same. So he went 2, 3 1/3, 2, 4, and 3. So we haven't really gotten a ton of workload. Pitch count, last 4, 60, 41, 46, 45. 3 counts under 46. Going to be hard to project him over 60. So I think this is part of the calculus for the White Sox win, is even if you like Rojas, who's coming in afterwards? That Twins bullpen is really fucking shaky. I want to look to see who we might get later on. I doubt it's going to be anybody we want. Oh, it's probably going to be SWR, which again, like, that only makes you want the White Sox even more. So, okay, Rojas 23, featuring the 4-seamer, throws 96. Good extension, not great. Good spin, not great. He gets a ton of whiffs on the pitch without a lot of horizontal break. Decent vertical movement. So the shape, everything is like a average or better than average. Not really great. I mean, he's really limited contact and been very good at spotting that 4-seamer up. You know, that's how you do it. Pairing it with the changeup to righties. That pitch has performed very well. Same for the slider. I mean, he gets a lot of whiffs. He even gets whiffs on his sinker, which is a little bit unusual. So just as far as underpinning stuff goes, I think I like what I see. You know, he's kind of passing the sniff test, is what I mean. So I'm trying to think how you'd execute this with the given info. So I'm probably like under the F3, I think we're getting 3. I'm worried about the F5 because Woods Richardson, we're like a hard fade. Also, I think the offensive stuff probably leans pretty heavy towards White Sox. Sorry, I forgot that Rojas is a lefty. I just changed the White Sox to red. If you were looking at the board the last few minutes, you noticed that. White Sox have been very dangerous versus righties, leading the majors in homers last 30 days versus southpaws. Now they're striking out, but doing it the right way, attacking the zone, being pretty aggressive, but not chasing, and that's what we want to see. Barrels, Woba, oh, I'm sorry, that was overall, though all the stuff pretty much holds. They're not number 1 in homers, they're top 3, but all of it holds. High average, good slug, walk, no chase. So I think that's going to be helpful against Rojas. It's only been 14 and a third. I was mentioning the outputs, not really feeling or lining up with the underpinning stuff. You can't have a whip higher than your ERA, 126/147. But again, he does get swings and misses. He keeps it down. He's hard to get a hold of. And we know he's got lots of whiffs. That's where the Arsenal stuff comes in. We want to know if he has oh, Jam, Band, Dan. Gotcha. I'm still reeling from the fucking Four Eyes thing. He's Adam. What's going on? I really do appreciate the comments after the fact. From what I understand, that stuff really matters. I'm still trying to figure out this YouTube thing. I think I'm going to live stream baseball and post football as videos. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm old. Underwater Trades, my dude. I'm here for the goods. Better late than never. This is not bad.
This is Sparta!
Damn right it is. And of course, we love Martin. We were on him early, and I'm not backing down. Command and control everything. Cold stuff, getting ahead, inducing chases, keeping it down. Martin is a legit kind of breakout pick for the White Sox. I don't think the Twins are going to sniff him at all. They've been pretty terrible after kind of sun running for a little bit. Being too aggressive. When you see the swing rate through the roof with a high swing and miss, a worse than average chase, low zone contact, no barrels, this is a full-on press. Twins, very hard to back right now. So edges across the board for the White Sox. Twins bullpen pitching a little bit better as of late, though I don't think I'm ready to trust them. Don't think it should matter. Oh, man, I don't know. I think the live pricing on this is the right answer. Because I think Rojas is good. And the Twins may even come out ahead. But I want to live bet the White Sox if they're losing. If they jump on Rojas and get way ahead, then, we missed the fucking boat. I kind of like this White Sox cover at plus 145. Aside from that F3 under I mentioned, which, is a little bit out there. But I do like the price in the White Sox, and I think we have the edge every way. I think the Twins are in a little bit of a, tailspin. My worry, the fail point, is if Rojas, they let him get to 75 and he gets through 5 clean, in which case we might not get SWR. And this one's probably to the under. But that's a lot of, I don't know, maybe a bit too many ifs for me. Next up, it's pitching. Chris Sale on the bump for the Bravos, minus 144 on the road down in Fenway. To face Peyton, got to pay the troll toll if you want to get into this boy soul. What is there to do here? Sale, awesome. Toll, awesome. One of the really, really great young pitchers. Another full-on breakout incoming. Sale, the Cy Young leader right now. I didn't check the odds, but for my money, 189 ERA with a .87 whip. Holy crap. 24 KBB, nearly 14 swing and strike. CSW north of 31. His ball rate is a half a tick higher than his fucking CSW. This is just nuts. Imagine getting as many cold strikes and whiffs as you throw balls. Whoa. Just whoa. Crazy chases. He's the fucking man. It's just about health if he could stay on the bump. So we love Sale. Last 30 days, he's a GOAT. I guess if you were ever going to attack him, it'd be on the road where his ERA is north of 3. But Sale is pretty much GOATed. Then we got Toll, who we saw just straight up dominate down the stretch last year. Big ass lefty with the stash for the Red Sox. Let's pop the hood on Toll really quick. Featuring the four-seamer, throwing 96. Good spin, great extension, elite whiff rate. I mean, these are usually the trademarks of the superstars. The vertical movement is, let's call it average, better than average, but he gets a lot of arm side run. That's the thing I'm generally looking for. And then he's pairing it with just crazy secondaries. The curveball changeup combo are ridiculous. The changeup 253 X-Lug 30 with, curveball 330 X-Lug 47 with. Then he's got the sinker when he's behind, pitch it to contact with good control to force the grounders. There's a lot going on under the hood for Toll, also that we really like. Jam has Sox -1 is -105. I don't ever see that bet. Where is that? Where is that? Is that like an international thing? Who has -1s? Well, I have money lines and run lines, and I feel like I'm not obsessed and I don't go searching for it. So it's possible I'm just wrong. But I look at enough alt stuff that I never see that. Maybe it's on the DK sliding scale. I'm not even sure at this point. Anyway, Toll, totally believable, right? That's kind of the point here. Let's check the lefty stuff. Red Sox have really been great against lefties last 30 days. Look out now, Red Sox offense potentially getting up off the mat. Woo, yes. Braves have been kind of whack, which is a little bit disappointing. Just when they started really humming. Not to blame one player, but I feel like Acuna came back and hasn't had the impact I was really hoping for. Last 7, big edge to the Red Sox. I wonder if that's the sharp play here. Algo says. Obvious lack of scoring, no surprise. F5 at 3.5. I guess that's also no surprise. Thing that I was really looking for was the price on the F5 run line. I'm seeing a -125 right now. I mean, both of these bullpens have been really good. So for me, it's either chalked under or Boston half run through 5. Though I think I prefer... Man, when the under's even -120, which is fucking gassed, Surprised to see that. Now, if we wanted to go, I wanted to look for an under 7.5, and that's really true stuff like -165, which I'm just not doing. I know I try not to speak in too many absolutes, but I'm not doing that. All right, I guess we can just not believe in the Boston offense, or enough so that they scratch across 2 or 3 against Sale, in which case maybe they win this game. So maybe there is some love on the Boston side getting the plus money. I still think the safest one is Sale dominates, Toll dominates, and this game is 3-1. Something else that, how about this? Yo, Jameen, I think we're locking in right now. Good to see you, by the way, pal. Izan says, all the 7.5 were bought up last night. Yeah, I believe that. By the way, I'll be on Source Network tonight where we'll be pointing out all this shit. So tomorrow you can hear me say how all the prices are awful because we were on everything at midnight. Jamie says, what about the under? Yeah, I think we're locking in there. Okay, so this is something I wanted to get about. This is something also Kyle. So I have such love for Kyle. He's very much like us, right? He's very serious about his work, but he's a lot of fun in his analysis, right? He takes the work very seriously, but he doesn't take himself too seriously, right? And he was challenging me. I was like, oh, I don't like to go under 7. And he's like making a face. What do you mean you don't like to go under? What the fuck does that mean? I'm like, oh, I don't run slow, and I model. So model outcomes are, mean model outcomes are generally going to lead you to where, they lead us, which are always going to make it hard to go under. But in this case, 3.6 to 3.4, there's a shit ton of the bottom end of the scale. And I think what he was alluding to, I'm not doing a great job of capturing it, is think about all the outcomes that finish under 7. The book never totals under 7 because they're using models also, right? So we have to be willing to challenge. I think, okay, this is the best way to put it. So I view, or had been viewing, those totals as like the very narrow part of the bell curve, and they're not. Right? They're not. Right? When you think of the bell curve, I was seeing it as the flat end, and it's not. It's the sliding, right? It's a flattening end. But it's not the line. That was wrong. I was wrong, right? That's wrong. And we need to be able to go under 7 and under 7.5. Am I going to go under a 6? Probably never. Legit, probably never. But under 7 and under 7.5, these fucking things hit. Right? Runs are hard to come by. And I got to try and open my mind, especially with, scoring is down. Right? So we want to be leaning towards a trend. The famous trading saying, right? The trend is your friend. Next up, Patty Corbin on the bump for the Bluebirds. They're on the road south of the border in Bmore to face the Bassett Hound. And the Orioles, they're minus 130 favorites. I think this number should be a little bit higher. Algo is giving me the nudge and saying, not so fast, big man. Let's take a look at the pitching. Okay, so they've both been terrible. Corbin, I feel like, might be a little bit less believable. The lower velo, the off-speed stuff is worse. The contact profile is worse. I feel like we're further away from the good pitcher. Where Bassett, man, I don't want to be like making excuses for this guy. But home Bassett is good. And I think that's an old man. Is that an old man thing? This is like the Lego thing I used to talk about, right? Think about it. The old man who's home with the wife and kids, homemade breakfast, get to play Legos with the kids in the morning before you go to work. Uplifted. Flip side of that, old man having to sleep on a fucking terrible, bed. And I know I love it. But, fancy hotels. I can't fucking sleep in the fanciest hotel. The pillows are fucking soft as shit. A lot of us are old and fat and have neck and back problems. I sleep on a fucking buckwheat whole pillow. You know what I mean? It's like fucking man hard. It's like a bag of rice. Anyway. So the Bassett at home stuff is pretty strong. Also, I feel like he's been better as of late. He was really good in that start against the A's. I think they were a good offense. He was good against the Astros. Both of those were at home. Detroit touched him up a little bit, but he didn't walk anybody. And the BABIP was through the roof, 50% left on base in that game also. So I think we have the pitching edge. And I feel strongly that we have the hitting edge. Baltimore offense in general is really starting to hit. The lefty stuff maybe not as strong. But for me, it's talent reigning supreme here. They're just doing all the stuff that we like to see. Maybe it's also because I've been a honk for Baltimore. I just honestly feel like the talent on this team is undeniable. This team hitting is one of the best teams in the league. They're one of the most talented lineups up and down. And it's only a matter of time before it starts clicking. And I feel like we're starting to see the signals for that. Plus, again, I'm just not buying whatever it is that Corbin's been selling. Blue Jays offense is starting to click. Also, I also think they're talented. But the 2-week stuff, all the chasing, is always the worst for me. You know, when you chase and don't get barrels, it's so easy for me to become disinterested really fast. Toronto bullpen definitely has the edge at the back of the game. So maybe I like this one, F5. Again, wind blowing in, I think that might help Bassett as well. Let me get a quick price. I have this up right here. You know what? Strangely enough, this would be odd. It's possible. But now I got to check the full game score, right? We're always trying to compare pricing to look for, I don't want to call it edge or value, but okay, so this to me is interesting, right? And worth a look always. So Baltimore, who is a favorite and at home, is cheaper on the F5 than they are full game, even though they have the worst bullpen by an order of magnitude. So for me, those make the full game F5 decision, right? That execution decision that we're always finding ourselves having to make. And they're not being an answer. It's not, oh, you should do this or, oh, you should do that. So, right, we try and build conditionals. And this is the type of stuff that I hope people listen to in the show and it resonates outside of fucking baseball where you're like, oh, that fucking idiot was talking about decision making, right? Regardless of baseball, right? That's really what we're doing, right? Is cleaning up our own processes and decision making, understanding values plus premiums, plus emotional capital, which right now mine is fucking wearing thin. When I was a younger man, I would have been flying off the handle yesterday. I don't even want to say it, like punching myself and like fucking doubling down and chasing shit live in secret, right? Again, just being honest. All the stuff that you're not supposed to do. Maybe even drinking and like getting high and shit. Also, obviously that's not the right answer. Now, those things are okay. I'm not against those things. But little thing about me, which is really funny, like I'm a funny drinker like that. For me, it's a fun thing. So like some people drink bad feelings. For me, I don't want it then. When things are bad, you really should be looking to focus and lock in and correct rather than like do the thing that, you know, helps you spin off the fucking rails, which is fine when everything is correct. So a little bit of outside of the lines today. So getting Bassett with the bullpen attached that I don't like to attack Corbin that we're just trying to jump on with the offense. For me, decision kind of gets made for us. Give me that Baltimore line. It was actually 10 cents cheaper. So even though the F5s kind of destroyed us yesterday, I think I'm back on board. And again, because the long story short is not just the discount on the price. If this game is tied after 5, I want out. I want out. Because it means, again, it flies in the face of the analysis. It means either Corbin was really good or Bassett was worse than we expected. And this is going to go to the Pens, which is something we're not interested in. Oh, I love this too. How did I forget this, man? Yo, my guy UT says Bassett revenge game. How did I fucking forget that? What's wrong with me? How did I forget that? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Bassett revenge game. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, he's out, exactly. Baltimore's top 5 are very good. You don't really trust the back end. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I think maybe they're a little better than people give it credit for. But we'll see. Like, I don't hate Mayo and Alexander. Also, that lineup, the projected line I'm looking at right now, doesn't include Basayo, which again, he may sit versus the lefty, which again affects this game, but it does push up against the Baltimore argument. J-Main, hold on, I want to get to this. All right, listen to me. J-Main says I'm a bad decision maker. Now, tongue-in-cheek, real, 100% legit or not, don't sweat it. Literally understanding that is most of the work. For real, don't beat yourself up. That's number 2. Because that doesn't help. Right? The next step, knowing that you're bad at something, is 1. See if you can decide why. You know, do you rush the decision? Do you not put enough time into it? Right? Do you get high? Right? Again, I don't want to get you personal shit. But some people, you know, turn to the wrong things, right? That's not going to help you make clear decision making. Whatever. You want to get baked and fucking write songs, that's maybe a different story. I try not to get high right before doing math. So don't beat yourself up, man. And again, if there's anything that you think we can help with, if you have questions even about, process and stuff, bring it on. That's what we do. All right, Colin Rea is on the bump for the Cubbies. They're starting to hit again, right? They're on the road against Yara. Paulie Skeens, heavy favorite, of course. Man, Rea, who I've really liked in the past, has not performed well this year. I think let's pop the hood on this bitch. 483 RA with a 137 whip. I mean, just not great. K stuff disappeared. Swing and strike has disappeared. Call stuff's not over. Losing in zone. And getting, summarily destroyed. What the hell is going on with Colin Rea? And if I'm not mistaken, hold on, now I have to bring this up also. Was he a spring training breakout? I know somebody's fucking laughing at me right now. But you got to bring this stuff up as much as possible. Yeah, he had a really nice spring. Right? He had a really nice spring. And whatever. That stuff, I say that loud to remind myself. Allow myself to remind myself. Not to chase this fucking stupid stuff all the time. All right, Rea, we last saw on normal rest. He went 7, gave up 3, walked 3 versus Houston. So it was that's a nice bounce back. But, at least 3 earned in each of the last 3. At Atlanta, at the White Sox versus Houston. So I guess the offensive competition has been high. Not sure what kind of relief he's going to get today. I'm going to flip to Pittsburgh offense last 2 weeks. I mean, funny, I thought I had this set for righties. Anyway. Pirates v. righties. Let's call it a mixed bag. Again, they've hit for power this year, and that's always going to help. But the disciplinary stuff has been really bad. Let's check the Rea swing and miss. That's what feels like has been betrayed. I mean, the velo was never great, but he's still at the normal kind of 94. I'd like to see Rea maybe throttle that. Put the algo up. The four-seam usage a little bit. Up over 40 when you're getting hit hard is not great. Plus, to be honest, he's been a little bit lucky on the contact stuff. Expected slug like 100 points higher. On your worst pitch that you're throwing too often. This is not looking great. Rea used to throw his four-seamer like 19 or 20% of the time with some sinkers. Now he's up over 40, and I'm not really loving the move. We are seeing more split fingers, and that pitch has performed really well, as has the slider. So, man, this is a little bit, it's frustrating.
It's frustrating.
Because I feel like he has everything, the bubbles. It feels like he has everything that he needs to succeed here, but they're almost purposely making it harder for themselves. Hold on, we'll have a weed conversation in a few minutes. Mark Ed says, "Good morning, Spartans."
This is Sparta!
Hold on, yeah, we'll talk about weed in a second. We'll talk about weed at the end. I'm trying to force Ray into the conversation here. I don't think they get the Skeens, although the Cubbies have killed him, right? Hasn't that been that's been a thing? I don't know. I don't chase BVP. And Skeens has just been crazy. Built in a lab good. He's just so incredibly good. The home stuff is outrageous. Last 30's been outrageous. I mean, hard to look for anything against Skeens. I do actually have BVP stuff. I don't like to cite it because it borders on embarrassing. People take it the wrong way. But let me take a looky-loo. No. Overall, no. The batters he's seen, it's all anecdotal. Maybe I just have it in my mind. Was opening day the Cubbies? Maybe that's right. Then Skeens got torched. No, it was the Mets. So, all right, I'm just making I'm just making shit up at this point. Whatever. So Skeens really awesome. Cubs starting to hit the L14. You could see starting to shake. L7, man, it was starting to pop a little bit harder. The disciplinary stuff has been good. Hard hit fly balls, which we like, right? That was the thing I was kind of looking at, trying to ignore the very low average because of the low BABIP. But we'd like to see a stronger L7 if you're looking for strength in the L14, right? That should make sense intuitively, but just really quick, right? That's part of the moving averages moniker. Moving averages plot numbers at different time frames on the same chart. And I know it could look like squiggles, but they speak to you. When shorter samples cross over the bigger ones, right, that's bullish, right? And again, I can't do a whole thing now. But the charting is really helpful to understand. Now, the sheets are not necessarily charted, but they can work in that. And that's why I like to have them. And if you set them where you could flip back and forth, you could draw it. You know what's fucking crazy? I could probably... I could probably do this for you guys. I just had a little bit of an idea where I could... it won't be a physical chart, but I could chart with the formatting year-to-date L30, L14, L7. Just general and like... It's funny how these things work. You'll see, it'll be like a momentum bar. I'm going to do this. I'm going to fucking do this. J-Main says, yeah, he got torched a few times. That was Skeens. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. He gave up 5 against Philly and 4 against Toronto. I got to be honest with me, that's a double bottom. And I'm like pretty much buying it hard now, buying the bottom. Marquez says, Skeens embarrassed himself. Last game with Liv in the stand. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's all that. He shines here against a struggling Cubs offense. Yeah, that's what I think you're right. And I think my Cubs momentum was misplaced. I mean, that's why we use the data to make sure that we're not front-running anecdotes, because that's what I think I did. I'm guilty, man. I do it. Listen, it happens all the time. So I still think the Pirates win. I'm not sure, man, if we're getting the cover. The model is pointing me towards the cover. I was looking for another donkey pair. I mean, like Pittsburgh and the White Sox might, in fact, be the grossest donkey pairing in humanity. Pirates plus White Sox to win is plus 160. I think if I post that, I think I have to retire. I think I have to retire from fucking handicapping and public content. So I don't know, man. What do you do? Yes, I think Pittsburgh wins. But I'm not crazy about the pricing here. The run line is plus 125, so at least they're offering 100 cents on it. I don't love losing the 9th frame from the Pirates on the cover, because their bullpen makes me a little bit worried. Though maybe because they're rested and Skeens goes distance, I guess they could protect like a 3-run lead if you're getting what's his face, fucking Soto and Santana or whatever. Anyway, I don't want to overthink it. Next up, Spencer Arrighetti and Meatballs on the bump for the Stros. How could you look for any scoring again? They're on the road against Texas Rangers and nasty Nate Eovaldi, the naughty jungle of love for the Rangers. Minus 148 on the Rangers. I think that's probably the value is for as good as Arrighetti has been. I think that number is a little bit soft on him. He's another guy who can get that minus 115 with the first 5. So like that doesn't happen often. It's funny, since I opened my fucking mouth on Toll, that number is shot to minus 125. Screw you guys, I'm going home. But those are the plays that I like. And I think it's a correction of mistakes I've made in the past. Here, I could show you the whole board if anybody is coming in late. And it's a game that's modeled very close, with a pitcher that I like on the favorite side, right? We like Nasty Nate. He's fucking man good. But the price is overblown, which I believe it is. I don't like the Texas offense. Is the L7? The L7 went back in the tank. Like something else Kyle and Toast talk about all the time, and they're right. Why? It's why. I mean, I know I don't use it. I just try to make a point to explain it fucking sometimes, because you got to be careful with the L7. The L7 changes wildly, so one game could really throw it off, and I think that was the case here for Texas. They're banged up. They're missing all their stars. They're not really hitting. Seems to be said for the Astros are in the fucking damn tank. I would love to be under this one also. I just don't have the faith in the bullpens and the level that I did with the Boston and Atlanta game. Astros bullpen's been freaking bad. Texas has been much better. Much better than I thought, at least. So you know what? This one is 7.5. It's juiced a little bit, but minus 118 is not crazy. So that's where I'm at this one. I think if I had two plays, and I think they work with each other, I like Houston first 5 run line. Arrigetti's been good, and I think the offenses are a wash. Now, Nasty Neat is a freaking really tough character, but if I'm not mistaken, how good he's been like Cy Young for maybe a little bit too long. And I like Neat, but again, all the best pitchers end up sucking eventually. Remember, he had just given up 6 versus the A's. He blanked the Yankees through 7, when 8 gave up 1, when 7 gave up 1, then when 7 just gave up 3 against the Angels. I feel like not even a stinker. But he gave up fucking 2 runs. But isn't that funny how we view these things? Guys are unhittable. No, the zeros are very hard to attain. So Arrigetti, first 5 to keep it close. I love to cash these ties. Like, I'm a habitually cheap bitch. And what's better than cashing on a fucking tie? I mean, nothing. And again, I think the under 7 is in play because I think we could get distance from both of them. Maybe because we have a quick second. And the prospect of doing a short show is already out the window. So I'm not going to go long. But I was curious when we mentioned Arrigetti, like, are we buying just how great he's been? And, nothing. He's been fucking great. Again, the 132 ERA is a really high for those underpinning stuff. Look, the control has not been great. I think I might have made the mistake of watching this guy. And not to say you shouldn't watch the ball. I love to watch the ball. But especially with pitchers, when you watch them and they have great games, it's easy to be like, oh, this guy's the fucking man. Funny how good he's been, that the underpinning stuff is so bad. But, walks. He's walked 4 batters in 3 of the last 4. And, that's always going to make it really tough. The rest of the stuff is really great. I mean, I love these guys that pitch backwards. So Arrigetti goes curveball first. Throwing a curveball a third of the time, 148 X-lug, 48 whiff is freaking nuts, That is so cool. I love that. He's going up and spinning the curve. He throws it for strikes and can get whiffs. He's got crazy extension and crazy spin. And then he throttles it up, right? Then he reverses course to go up the ladder. All of a sudden, the 93 looks really fast because the curveball comes in at 76. Then the sweeper at 79. All of a sudden, the power sinker, or I should say the sinker at 92, looks like a power sinker. So there's a lot of deceptive shit in here. The changeup right in the middle at 84. So he has 3 distinct speed levels, and the spin is nuts. The curveball, 2,800. The changeup at 1,400. I mean, and it gets 29 whiff. I mean, there's a lot to like about the Arrigetti stuff. He's got to clean up the command and control. But other than that, you got to like what you see from Arrigetti. All right, that'll do it. Yep. J-Main is off. Texas go under every game and go over every time. Fuck Texas. Yeah. Well, I think they're an under team. Fireworks up in the bitch. What's going on, man? Good to see you. That Tampa Bay game was horrible. Yeah, dude, everything about yesterday. Steve, y'all, appreciate you, man. Yeah, we'll bounce it back. Gosh, I just got hammered yesterday. Mark says the Cubs are not back. Yeah, word. Also said, I agree with you here. Bubba Chandler may need to go back to AAA. I said that, and I loved him. I was a huge fan. Got to take the giant L for love. However, if he gets sent down and he's really good, we are back in fucking Tentos. Legit. All right, how about some 1 minute worth of weed talk? Let me just find it. It's in here. It's in here somewhere. Just because I mentioned it. I smoke weed. I think I got ADD or something because I just go after a while. It fucks with my judgment sometimes. Well, not to laugh. And it's good to have a sense of humor about it. Just try and separate it from your work. You know what I mean? Right? Start there. Especially if it interrupts. Listen, there's some people that can do it. Do your thing. I'm not judging. I ain't judging nobody. Trust me. But if you find that it's fucking your process up, start the process earlier, beforehand. You know what I mean? Try and create that reward system. Or isolate the work that is hard to do like that. You know, and if it's just a distraction thing, here's one good piece of advice that I have that helped when I was doing the smoking thing and the working thing. The email stopped the weed a while ago. A good occasional mind reset is shrooms. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh baby. Let's fucking go. Oh baby. Man, you'd be seeing fucking swirls. You want to see helicopters, Henry? Holy shit. Oh, here's good advice, and then I'm going to get you out of here. Again, somebody like myself, right? I talk fast, I think fast, very busy mind. I found a new level of production, even if I might have been partaking, music with no lyrics. This is proven time and time again. To boost focus, the lyrics create a sort of attention that takes away from other things. And if you're interested, legit, I cover all the spectrum. I'm a weird fuck, man. But for me, it's a mood thing. But you keep switching it up. There's great jazz, right? There's great classical music. But there's also really good rock metal, like heavy metal stuff that's instrumental, hours and hours and hours. Same for EDM, right? Electronic fucking dance techno shit. That stuff I found is harder to find without lyrics, which is weird because it's not lyrically based. But like deadmau5 shit, awesome. Yo, go find a deadmau5 mix. They have work. I mean, you could just put it now with YouTube, the power of YouTube. Work and continuous mixes and stuff like that. And, yo, man, learn about some jazz. Put on a jazz mix. Find the guys that you like. Go bring up their shit. You know what I mean? You got any old school kind of guineas out there? Chuck Mangione is the shit. I'm sure when you hear it, you'll be like, oh, I know that. I know that. I know that. You know, just through your life, you've heard a lot of these songs. So learn to focus. Stay focused. For real. That's it. I'm glad we got to talk about that briefly because it matters. You know, you could even have the sheets and have all the correct stuff in front of you. But if the ambient, right, the ambiance, right, is not proper and conducive to good and focused and strong work, you're going to suffer, and the work's going to suffer. So go turn on some fucking classical music, put on some fucking deadmau5 and fucking jam out. That'll do it. Everybody appreciates us all. My God, the comments. I don't know if I want to. I don't even know if I want to read these. Oh, man. You don't mean so much to me. Thank you so much. Oh, look, it's some music stuff. You have Vivaldi, Bach, Tchaikovsky. Oh, let's go. You know your shit. You know your shit. Yeah, I love that. I mean, people my age, right, people of a certain age, recognize a lot of these things from fucking Looney Tunes. Right? Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies used some of the great music of all time as the background for these. So we don't even realize like how much of this shit we love. This one's a little unusual. Mark says worship music, no lies, and relax and calm. Always a great way to start the day. Yo, I'm a faithful dude. Is there really great instrumental shit? Interesting. But yeah, whatever. Again, I think the answer, right, where we're locked in, is, you know, find that stuff that lifts. I mentioned that about your friends and your family. You know, man, I grew up rough and had some pretty brutal fucking friends. And, yo, you got to get away from that shit because people that are into negative shit and do negative shit generally don't like to see you succeed. You know, you want to be around, I'd say like-minded, like you should be narrow. But in positivity, right? We're not talking about political shit or religious shit. But in positivity, right? You want uplifting people that want to see you thrive, that believe in your success, that want the best for themselves and think they could find that in you, right? And that's symbiosis, right? That's what we're trying to build here. So, all right, let's get the fuck out of here. Appreciate us all. Thanks for picking up what I put down on another Tony Robbins edition of the fucking show, man. I don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. Press the like button. Subscribe to the Substack if you can find it in your heart to support good people doing good work. And that will do it. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the games. Enjoy the day. When we're done with the book, enjoy the pay. And remember, when you work this freaking hard, man, winning feels a lot less like luck. Yo.